Okay, let's do this. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela Abiola and I am a life coach, a co-founder of a non-profit organization called Revive Congo, and I'm also a wife and a mother to two beautiful children. So welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, warm hello to you and I hope you stick around. Don't forget to subscribe down below before you forget, and we're just going to get into it. So I basically turned 30 this month, which I am extremely thankful to God for. So happy, had the most amazing time with my friends and family. It was lit. I looked lit. It was good. And I was really happy and just thankful that I was able to celebrate this important milestone, especially because last year I was in hospital with sepsis and I wasn't walking. So I'm just so thankful. So leading up to turning 30, as you do, and I think you may be aware of this, but every time your birthday is coming up, you always seem to go into reflection mode where you just start to think about your life, what you've achieved, what you haven't achieved, what you want to achieve, and you just start, just doing some deep reflections. And that's what I basically did, like unintentionally and intentionally. I was praying and I was asking God to just really show me what He wants me to do moving forward in terms of the year ahead, and also help me to learn the things that, help me to learn from the things that I have been through in the last 30 years. So I basically started just writing a list, and I titled it on my phone, called things that I've learned in my 20s. And I thought it would be really good to share it with you guys because it had a really good reception on Instagram. So I thought, you know what, let me do a video about it. It may, it may get you thinking as well, and it may also encourage you whilst you're on your journey, whether you're in your 20s, your 30s or 40s. This is for you, and I hope you actually get something from it. So starting with number one, the first thing that I've learned in my 20s is that not every day is going to look the same. So not every day is going to look the same. If you know me on a personal level, you will know that I am a organized freak. Like, I love organizing things. I love lists. I love to organize what I'm going to do for the day, what I'm going to do for the week, what I'm going to eat, what time I'm going, wherever I'm going. I love organizing. But what I have found is that no matter how much I organize my day or my life, it doesn't mean that it's going to pan out the way that I've planned it to pan out. But although that may be the case, it's up to me to choose my perspective. So I can't choose what day I'm going to have. I can't choose what is going to happen to me, but I can choose to have a positive perspective, a positive outlook, an outlook that is filled with hope, filled with faith, and that is going to continue the day regardless of how it goes. So yeah, that's number one. Although you can plan as much as you want to plan, you never know how it's going to pan out. Number two, health is wealth, for without it, you can't execute the plans you have made. And I really felt that last year, as in when I was in hospital with sepsis at the beginning of the year, I really saw that without health, I cannot do anything, because I had made plans for the year. I had even made plans to celebrate my birthday. I had made plans for holidays. I made so much plans, so many plans. And the truth is, I couldn't execute any of that because I was unwell. I literally couldn't even walk properly. I couldn't go to another country without, being on heavy antibiotics. It was just a mad one. And it reminded me that without my health, like, I can't, I'm limited as to what I can do. So I would really encourage you, no matter how old you are, it's never too late to focus on having a good health. Focus on eating things that will actually fuel your body. Focus on consuming things that is actually good for your mind. Now let's not forget, I'm not saying that you have to, like, just cut out sugar, fast food, all of that stuff out of your diet. But I am saying that we need to learn how to have things in moderation so that we can enjoy them, so that it can be a treat rather than something that you do every single day. Because in turn, you're looking after yourself, you're looking after your health. And again, that's not to say that, all of these things that happen is because we're not looking after our health. Because with sepsis, with sepsis, it had nothing to do with how I was eating. I just contracted it. But what I have found, is when you look after your health, you recover quickly. So when you have a cold and you make sure that you have your oranges, this is going to be politics for my husband because he's always like, Pam, you're always saying this, but you have your vitamin C, you drink your water, you stay warm, you find that you actually recover from your cold quicker than you just drinking fizzy drinks and doing all of that stuff. So health is wealth. For without it, you cannot execute your plans. Number 3, numéro 3. You cannot change anyone, and that is not your calling. This is a juicy one because what I have found, especially in my life, I have found that I have really tried to be God. I really thought that I could be God and change people. But the truth is, you cannot change anyone because you are not God. Someone needs to want to change for themselves. I know that there are probably times in your life where you've wanted something for someone, you've probably motivated them, you've encouraged them, you've even invested in them, and you have found that it hasn't made a difference. And that's because what you do, right, although it's important, it doesn't mean that that person is going to change. The person that you're trying to help will change when they make the decision to change. And I have had to just make peace with that. I've had to make peace with the fact that there are some people that are not going to change until they are willing to change, until they decide to change. I can continue to pray for them. I can continue to ask God to touch their hearts. But me, as a person, as a human being that even finds it difficult to break bad habits, I cannot change anyone. So don't waste your time. Number 4. Yes, when we work hard, we enjoy the fruits of our labor, but it's not by our own doing, but it's by the favor of God. I love this one so much. I love it so much, literally. I love it because, yes, it's true, you work hard, you reap what you sow, but it's actually God's favor upon your life that makes these things so, that makes these things happen, that allows your plans to be executed, that allows your vision to become a reality. Yes, you work alongside God to do it, but it's not because you're the big boss, It's got nothing to do with you being the big boss, the big papa. It's more to do with God's favor. So never forget that you are where you are today because of the favor of God. Number 5. Whew. Right. Number 5. Even if you're not a show off, people will compare themselves to you and there's nothing you can do. This one really hit me a bit differently when I was thinking about this one, because I realized that sometimes people will make you feel like you're a show off. People will make you feel like you're showing off your life, you're showing off your things or whatever. And it makes you question yourself. It makes you feel like, okay, am I the problem? Am I a show off? But in actual fact, no. Sometimes you may be a show off and you need to, examine yourself and examine your heart. But the truth is that sometimes people will perceive you or make you look that way because they are comparing themselves to you. They don't feel good about themselves, and there's nothing that you can do about that. There's nothing that you can literally do. People will compare themselves to you because of how they feel about themselves. So that's why it's important, even as people, as an individual, we need to be content with who we are and where we are. And we need to make sure that our personal journey is not based on the person on the left or on the right, but it's based on us trying to be 1% better than we were yesterday. And I'm reading this book. The reason why I say 1% better is because I know that what I've also learned is that I feel like sometimes in order to see big change in my life, I need to make big changes straight away. But in actual fact, when you try and make big changes straight away, you find that you fail after trying to do such a drastic change. So I'll give you an example. When someone is trying to lose 10 pounds or whatever, or even me, when I've tried to lose weight, right, after giving birth to my babies, I'm like, okay, no sugar, no processed food, no this, no fizzy drinks, all of that stuff, right? Eat clean. But then after 10 days of doing it, I find that I start binging. I start literally binge eating because I've done it for 10 days, but it was so drastic that there is no longevity. So what I have found is that rather than doing such a big change, it's better to do small steps. So trying to be better by 1% every day. So if you're trying to change your eating habits, you can start off with starting off with intermittent fasting. So having your eating window where you eat between 12 and 8. So you're making sure that you're not binge eating in the evenings, and you're giving your body enough time to prepare itself for the food that you're going to give it for the day. After doing that, you can then say, okay, I'm going to make sure that what I eat in that window actually gives me fuel for my body. So rather than having all of these sweets for my lunch break or whatever, let me get a banana. It's you know, it's a sugary kind of snack, but it's natural sugar, and it's also going to be good for me. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. These things that we're trying to do, these changes that we're trying to make, rather than trying to make big changes, start by making smaller changes every single day, and you will find that you have made amazing progress by the end of the year. Right, where are we? Number 6. Ooh. Someone that was once your brother or sister can become a stranger over time. And this one really, this one still, it tingles a little bit because it's just so true. Like, have you ever felt like you were just so close to someone, so close to someone? They were like your brother, you know, or your sister, your everything or whatever. And then fast forward, it's literally like they're a stranger. And at first, when I got that realization, or actually before I understood that realization, I thought, why does this happen? Like, if you have good friendships with people, then the only way you become a stranger is if the friendship, you know, sours or whatever. But the truth is, sometimes actually the friendship doesn't even have to sour. Sometimes the distance just comes because you guys are going on different paths, different ways, different journeys. And again, sometimes no one is to blame. Now, sometimes someone is to blame, either you or that person, but you find that there are times where no one is to blame. It's just that God has said that their time in your life is up. And I feel like it's so important to make peace with that revelation. And when you make peace with that revelation, rather than having a negative sort of outlook or having a negative kind of approach to that person, you actually want to wish them the best, because you actually cherish the moments that you guys have had. And you're like, do you know what? I cherish the moments. We may not have any more future moments, but I wish them the best. I wish them the best. I want the best for them. Because what number 7 also says is that when you don't accept the part that someone has now placed for you in their life, when you don't accept it, sometimes in life you get demoted, right? Yes, you get promoted, but there are times where you get demoted. And when you don't respect where someone has placed you, you literally find that you are hurt. You're heartbroken. It's like a relationship, and you're just like, what's going on? You start overthinking. You start thinking, am I the problem? Or they're horrible. They're this. But the truth is, you didn't respect the boundary. You didn't accept the fact that you've been demoted. And being demoted is okay, because the same way that someone has demoted you is the same way that you will also demote other people in your life. So it's so important that when it comes to relationships, that we accept when a season is changing in a particular relationship, and that we also wish whoever is leaving our lives the best. Like, even if they were, you know, interesting individuals, you still got to wish them the best, because the truth is, sometimes as well, sometimes the distance or the separation is temporary. Other times it's not. Either way, you got to wish them the best. Right, let's go to more. Not being teachable stunts your growth. Not being teachable stunts your growth. Not being teachable stunts your growth. The same way that you love to be an advisor, even when someone doesn't ask you to be their advisor, or when you want to be a counselor, even when someone doesn't want you to be their counselor, is the same way that you need to be receptive for when people want to counsel you, encourage you, or correct you. Because the truth is, if you are someone that is not able to take advice, that is not able to be criticized, that is not able to be told off, then it will stunt your growth. You will never be where you need to be if you cannot accept teachable moments. So it's so important to accept teachable moments. If someone is telling you, look, you're slacking on this particular area, if you continue to slack, then you're not going to be able to make it to the next level. And not making it to the next level means that you're not going to be able to achieve your goal. Yes, sometimes you may feel like, oh, why is this person saying this? But when someone is telling you the truth, or when you want to figure out whether you should take this advice or not, you need to first examine yourself. And at times you will find, you know what, that person is telling the truth. I am slacking, and my goal is X. And if I want to get to X, then right now I need to stop slacking. And when I stop slacking and I actually put in the work, guess what? I'm meeting X. So be a teachable person. Be someone that someone can approach. Be approachable. Be approachable. Don't be someone that is standoffish. But obviously, make sure that you use the spirit of discernment when you are receiving advice, counsel, or different kind of opinions of other people. Make sure that you are literally receiving that with the spirit of discernment, because you will know whether what they're saying is for you to take or for you to brush off. Right, number 9, nearly there, nearly there. Having people around you that know more than you is actually a good thing. Don't strive to be a local champion. I love this. You know this quote of don't strive to be a local champion? It's actually my sister-in-law that was saying it to us like ages ago. I forgot what we were talking about, but she was just like, don't strive to be a local champion. So I say that to say that it's so important to make sure that you diversify your network, diversify the people that you have around you, so that you can learn from those people. The same way that you want to, like I said, be a counselor, be an advisor, you know, tell people what you know. It's the same way that you should have people around you that can also advise you, that can also counsel you, that can also teach you stuff that you do not know. Because when you have that around you, oh my goodness, you will see how much you change. You will see how much you develop, how much you grow, how much you succeed. Your circle says a lot about you. So who is around you? That's a question that you got to think about. Who is around you? Who's around you? Right. Last but not least, I've been reading this devotion called The Purpose of Driven Life by Rick Warren, and I would highly recommend it. It's a 42-day devotional. It has changed my life already. And in the book, it starts off by saying, not the first line, but somewhere at the beginning, it starts off by saying that on average, if we live to over 75, on average, we have 25,000 days in our life. And when I heard that, I was just like, what? I couldn't believe that we could actually calculate the days on average that we have on this earth. And it made me think, wow, 25,000 days is nothing compared to eternity. It's nothing compared to eternity. So a lot of the times we are so focused on this temporary place, on these temporary pleasures, that we forget to focus on eternity. Because the guarantee is that at one point we are all going to leave this earth and spend eternity with God or without God. And the decisions that we make today, the commitments that we make today, will indicate where we go. So I know that's a deep one to end with, but don't forget that eternity is way longer than your time here on earth. So if right now you're holding any resentment or unforgiveness or bitterness or anger, just remember it's not worth it. It's not worth having that to carry when we have limited time on here, on this earth. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's not for the other person. It's for you. It's for you to receive healing. It's for you to receive restoration. It's for you to be able to have that peace that you so crave. Let it go. Ooh. So that was part 1 of 3 of what I've learned in my 20s. I hope, and I pray that this has really helped someone on here. Comment, let me know whether it's helped you. Let me know what you've learned, even if you're not, in your 30s and you're still in your 20s. I can still learn from you now. Or if you're in your 40s, or if you're in your 30s, let me know in the comments what you have learned, what you have, or what you're still learning. I would love to know. And the next video, like I said, will be part 2 out of 3 of what I've learned in my 30s. It was lovely doing this video, but before I forget, I'm a life coach. I love to help people become the best version of themselves. If you want to find out more about what I do, or if you would like to book a consultation with me, go on www.pamelaabiola.com, where you can also sign up to receive my amazing newsletter, which I send out every week to encourage you, to motivate you, and to give you tips for your week. You can also find out about my charity on www.revivecongo.org and stay connected. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my channel, and let's stay connected. Bye.